Chap's got Aidan. You're a jockey. It feels
Yeah,
weird saying that because that's something what that's something what chuck. But I'm messing. I'm all for people jockeys and all this kind of stuff. Are you a professional jockey?
no, an apprentice. So it's going through the ranks and learning your trade, and eventually, after however many winners, I think it's 95 winners, you get to claim as a professional. So it's a
See,
long way to go.
see, I mean, listen, as you know, I've ridden horses. The first one tried to kill me. My fault. I will quite happily do 150, 200 miles an hour around a racetrack, but jumping on a horse. What speeds do you do? It's not slow, is it?
Top speeds would be you wouldn't go any faster, I'd say, than over 40 for like sprinters. I'd say the average, like every day, just cantering up Newmarket gallops would be 20, 25. In races, I'd say average out about maybe just over 30.
So it just sounds insane. I think it's because I've been in an air ambulance because of a horse. It's not because of a horse. It's because of my stupidity and didn't lunge it or whatever else. So it's my fault. But the thing is, mate, is like you send us a message, and you live in a world where I might be arrogant, where I'm presuming you're in the like the richer world, and
No, far from it. I mean, I came from a very working class. I mean, mum and dad are just normal people, nothing crazy, not like
and
money
that's
doesn't come easy. So, for a lot of people around horses, yeah, you have this idea in your mind where you have this horse maybe worth minimum £100,000 or millions of pounds, but the sport allows everybody to learn how to ride and eventually get attached to a trainer, and you get to ride all these amazing horses for people that are wealthier who
yeah.
own them, people who are maybe based in Dubai or abroad, etc. And all these stud organizations who are specialized in breeding horses, um, they're the ones with the money. Yeah. But us who ride them and take care of them day in, day out, we don't have to come with money. And it's great to learn that.
So I find it incredible. That shows why you should never presume.
Mm,
Yeah, exactly that. But I think the thing is, like I was saying, and I've said this many times, like, yeah, I'm known to race motorbikes. I used to box and all this kind of stuff as well. But I think you've got it harder. Like, I can't work out how someone like you, I don't know why I said it like that, but you're an apprentice here, you're working your way up.
yeah.
So you've got to stay on the top of your game, as well as keeping yourself all fine and dandy. You've got to look after these probably very, very expensive horses. How on earth do you stay on the top of your game while trying to be better than everybody else? Because I don't I would struggle with that, man. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it depends how the pressure's dispersed. I mean, of course, there's pressure on myself, whether that's from owners and trainers, putting that pressure on me to ride the horse well in a race, or um, if it's pressure that I put on myself to perform well. Those are two very different things. Because
That's a valid
um,
point. That's a very, very valid point. I think that's a point
with
a lot of people miss. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are obviously very hard on themselves, which is, you get all these like bubbles of pressure put on yourself. But as well as that, if the pressure from the owners and trainers, of course, if they want you to ride the horse well, you have to you have to bring yourself down to realism. Realism in the sense of you're an apprentice jockey, you're not, you haven't been riding for 20, 25 years, whatever it may be. I've been riding for 2 years. So it's still very early doors. And I think you have to bring yourself down to expectations of, okay, they to do well, but if you make mistakes yourself, then you have to live with that. Everybody has to live with that. No one likes making mistakes,
Yeah.
but if you make a mistake, then what are you going to do in that situation? It's just like if you get told by your mum for making a mistake when you're younger, you have to hold your hands up, say I'm sorry, I won't do it next time. And it's exactly the same in the sport. You have to hold your hands up, I won't do it next time, and just learn from it. And then these professional jockeys who've been doing it years and years and years, and get better and better is purely because of the experience, making those mistakes, learning from it. And if it wasn't for that pressure that they had from these top trainers and top owners, they wouldn't have probably made themselves better in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
If they just had it easy the whole time, then what are you learning? Absolutely nothing.
So the point. Yeah.
You're just learning of, oh, I'm just going to win, or whatever it may be, and then that's where the arrogance or the sort of ego comes in, and that the humbleness kind of gets detached from that person.
Yeah. So how do you get up? How do you get up every morning? Like everything, but how do you? I don't know. I I think you're mad, if I'm honest with you, for jumping on a horse and whatever else, and you working your way. You got a lot of eyes on you and all this kind of stuff as well. It's just how do you? I think what I can't get my head around is because you're apprentice and you've got all these eyes on you, so you could be the next shining jockey star. No idea
Yeah,
what.
if
But how do you keep yourself motivated?
he's the way I see it, because I've played many sports, football, rugby, golf, to a good standard like county or above in all of those.
So
And
sports in your blood, isn't it? Quite clearly.
yeah, and I think if a jockey never picked up a golf club, I mean, a lot of jockeys play golf as well, just to like as a bit of downtime. But I think a person with like that up there, you either have it or you don't. It's just like going on a motorbike at 120 miles an hour. You've either got the
50,
bottle,
50, come on.
50. You've either got the bottle to be able to go flat out and feel comfortable and embrace the environment,
Yeah,
etc. on the track, or you're going to be going, oh no, I'm feeling a bit like this is a bit too much for me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
And it's just like being a kid, like your first slide tackle is a bit daunting, or everything is just it's a bit new. So I think if you just have that sporting mentality, you've either got it or you haven't, and that's fine with people to not have it.
Yeah,
There's obviously other things that late down the line people find that they love and they have hobbies for. But I think you have to have it mentally.
yeah,
That's where it makes or breaks. If you've got it, it gives you purpose every morning to wake up at stupid o'clock in the morning, and it
yeah.
gives you purpose to come in the gym Monday to Friday, and it gives you purpose to just make yourself that 1% better than everybody else.
So are you a routine guy? You look like a routine guy.
I I wasn't. I was very lazy when I was younger, and I think having that purpose has brought that routine automatically. I don't have a strict routine, but it's I ride out in the mornings, see the trainer, look after the horses, and then I'll come to the gym in the midday, and then I can have my downtime in the evening, whether that's just watching TV or playing games. Just having that downtime is quite important for me as well.
Do you play horse racing games on the PS5?
No, but I have on the iPad.
Oh, okay. I could imagine you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
like, even if I've got the TV on, it will just be maybe like evening racing or something.
Yeah.
Racing's always on the TV, so it's so accessible for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what's your day look like? Because I think I'm probably wrongly like when I'm like motorbike racing, I like to keep myself a certain way because of the suspension.
Yeah,
Purely because I'm too tight, I don't want to get it all redone. So we do all of that. So do you get what I mean? So during like
yeah,
the racing season, is very much of like got to keep my weight roughly under this. But
yes,
but we can because I'm quite amateur as well, and I've not raced for a little while to be fair. Just it's out of season anyway. It's just I don't have loads and loads of eyes on. I go with my mates. But
mm.
what's your day look like to just keep
So in the off season now, the routine would be get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just have a shower, whatever it may be, try and wake up, and then I'll go into the stable about 5:30, um, just clean up one horse that I've got to ride first lot. Um, a lot is like each horse you've got to ride. So every day I'll ride between 4 and 5 horses each day. That'll be between 5:30 and 12 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And then after 12, I'll come straight to the gym for 12:30. Maybe I'll have a bit of food just before. Today, smashed an hour on the watt bike. I've got this good app. If anyone likes a watt bike, it's Zwift. I'll have to send it to you. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
just if you haven't got, it's like if you use your iPad or your phone as like one of them Peloton screens.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like
Yeah, I
it's like
understand.
yeah, it's like that. And so I just smashed an hour on that. Just had a bit of cardio, and then finish off about what 1:30, 2 o'clock. Go have some lunch if I haven't, but if I have, then I'll just maybe just relax, sort some stuff out, get some chores out the way, and then 4 till 6, I'll go back to the yard, see the trainer, make sure the horse is okay, make sure they've got like hay, water, stuff like that. Just do some duties around the yard, and then after 6, I've pretty much got the rest of the evening free. So normally 6 till 10. I'll go to bed about 10. So put some racing on the TV, Netflix, anything just to have that wind down.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was going to say, like, it sounds like you're always looking after horses and always doing
Yeah,
stuff for people. I was going to say, like, what do you do just to after you, look after you, just in the head?
it's mainly the looking after me is for the career. So
Yeah.
it's still horse related. I mean, I'm going to be coming to the gym every lunchtime. Other than that, I might go in the ice bar. I've been doing that quite recently. That's very very beneficial for me. Um, just maybe seeing friends. I mean, for us, because obviously we have to keep the weight down and we have to be professional, we tend not to go out anymore on like the Saturday nights,
Yeah.
boogie and stuff like that. I mean, obviously if it's someone's birthday, you might make an exception, go out for a bit of dinner, but you do have to be, for me, I have to be around 8 stone 5 or maybe 8 stone 3 at minimum.
Wow.
So and that's obviously in season. So when you're off season, you put on a bit of weight over winter. That's normal, but you're always looking to get back to that weight. So you can't be too silly. You can't be going out drinking Guinness every night and
Yeah.
having takeaways and everything. So you have to keep yourself in check.
Yeah.
And I think having just people around me that obviously I work with and other jockeys that I'm friends with, having that sort of same mentality with them and me,
Yeah.
we understand, if somebody says, oh, I've got a ride in a few weeks or whatever it may be, and it's someone's birthday coming up, we might say, okay, well, when you don't have to watch the weight so much, then we can go celebrate.
Yeah.
We understand that side of things. Um, for my family, it's a bit hard because obviously if I'm quite further away. I mean, they live in London, so I can't just keep coming to and from London because I work all the time. So
Yeah.
they understand that, and FaceTime's an amazing thing now. But I think you have to have your circle of friends and friends outside of racing in
Yeah.
terms of having those two circles. It's just like you. I mean, when you go to your motorcycle events, you have your motorcycle friends, and then you obviously have friends you might go camping with, or friends you might go for a coffee with. Having those two separate ones, I think, is very important.
I don't speak to my racing mates all through winter.
Mm,
Literally do
mm,
not speak. So there might be
mm,
like the odd little cheeky WhatsApp or something like that, or a tag on Facebook, but
yeah.
we've got nothing to talk about.
Mm, mm,
So it's just like little world. And I'm a believer. I think this is my personal perspective. I've got my little network of the people who I completely and utterly trust. There's like
yeah.
my wife, there's my friend Dot, and Steve. They're the ones where I I I don't mind them criticizing me because I ask them for advice.
Yeah.
I don't take criticism from people I don't ask for advice. That's just my general rule. So I've got that little world, which is like my I hate the term safe space, but I guess that's my safe space. And then
Yeah.
yeah, and then I've got my motorbikey friends.
And you just
Got
talk
my
about,
yeah, no, exactly.
yeah.
And I've got my wild camping friends over there. So at
Mm,
least I can just completely and utterly break away.
yeah, absolutely.
But just going on and say, how do you? Because we do get some blokes. I don't want to trigger anything like that. So how do you not turn you're keeping your weight down? You probably see where this conversation this.
Mm.
How do you not? How do you keep your eating thing as this is my job, health, rather than a what's the word I'm looking for?
Obsession.
Obsession. That's the word I'm
Yeah,
looking for. How do you
yeah.
stay on the good side?
Um, it becomes a diet. I mean, it's not obsessive then if it's a diet, because then you understand that it's doing good for just you, not just for
Yeah,
your job. Because if you eat well, you're happier, you're more energetic, um, you're less lethargic when you're trying to go to sleep. Um, all these scientific benefits of just eating properly and avoiding fizzy drinks, avoiding too much sugar. You know, things like if you have too much sugar, you might get diabetes. So all these other things. Just having a good diet is all around positive anyways. You don't have to think of it like, oh, I have to eat a banana because of my job, or I have to have a small pot of porridge and salad every night
yeah,
because it's my job. um, it's just you enjoy it, like tonight, like this tonight I'll probably make like a egg fried noodle stir fry. you know Eventually, after you've tried stir fries and tried prawn prawn tagliatelle or whatever it may be, you actually enjoy those sort of foods because
yeah,
you might be so used to just having barbecue ribs or chicken burgers and all these things.
yeah,
But if you switch it round, and obviously I've got a good support network with like nutritionists and dietitians, which is very easily accessible to me, but might not be for another person. But there's so much resource online that you can just sort of dib and dab different diets and try them for maybe 3 4 days. You don't have to permanently go from 0 to 100%, but just try a little diet here, try a little diet there, and see what works for you in terms of taste. And scientifically, you're going to feel a little bit more boost and a little bit more energy. And if you don't like it, then you can always have a little break. I would say, I wouldn't say completely stop and go towards takeaways, of course not, but
yeah.
you might open up the idea eventually.
Right, okay, that's some good insight on there, really, because one of the things I have found over many conversations via MANUP is some people they'll try something new and then it turns into an obsession
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that, and I think maybe it's just like maybe it's just a mental health problem. You find a new vice and you swap it for something else, really. So that's quite
yeah.
interesting. That was
I
quite
mean, the thing is, it only becomes an obsession if something ever goes from 0 to 100 in my mind. If a person goes, or I'm obese or I'm anorexic, for example, the complete opposite is to, if you're obese, to go on a fast. But
yeah, absolutely,
your body's not used to fasting.
yeah,
So, there's good applications on phones and iPads, whatever it may be. But you can try cut down to skipping breakfast for a week and just having 2 meals and avoid all the snacking. And
yeah,
then there's others where maybe it's a bit more intense, where if you're used to it, then you can skip lunch and just have a breakfast and a large dinner,
yeah,
things like that. So you can always have a bit of versatility in there. And it's the same with someone who's anorexic. Someone who's anorexic is, I wouldn't ever say it's harder than someone who's obese. It's not, because again, it shocks your body.
yeah,
So if someone's anorexic, just maybe do a little bit extra. If you're just eating at lunchtime or just dinner time, maybe just try and introduce the idea of having something small for breakfast
yeah,
or something small for lunch and build it up. And then eventually you're going from having banana at lunch to having a pasta bake for lunch, eventually
absolutely.
a month down the line. So,
Because I think that's the problem. I've just noticed the time, but I think that's the problem with society as well. Because I think because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people,
yeah,
and in society, everything just feels like it's all or nothing. And
yeah,
that's it. Like we've said many times, is the science. Well, you're not going to argue it. The science of the science of even just going for a walk will massively help out your mental health. But
yeah,
if you start putting that, I don't know, struggling with mental health exercise, all of the websites, all the social medias, go for a run, join the gym, this, that, and that.
yeah,
Actually, just go for a fucking walk.
yeah. I mean,
You don't need to go to that extreme stuff.
the thing is, like
Excuse
a
my
lot of
French.
people, a lot of people I know will sign up to half marathons or marathons, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great. I've got no argument against that. But the most brilliant thing during COVID, I remember, was loads of people were doing this couch to 5K thing, and
Yeah.
that was brilliant because that was just like a little booster for if you're not doing much, because it's COVID or whatever it may be. You're only doing 5K. What's that? Maybe half an hour of your day.
Yeah.
And even that became competitive for some people because you go out for one day and it will be you get a PB of half an hour, and then the next day you want to try and beat it. Next day you try and beat that. So with the marathons and the half marathons, I said to all my friends, I said, you're not going to go from your couch to running 24 miles
It's not going to
or
happen. Yeah.
12 miles, whatever it may be. So just go from every day, run 5K further.
Yeah.
Eventually you get to 40K or whatever it may be. So build it up slowly, condition your body, get your body to realize that its joints are having to work harder for longer.
Yeah. Oh, good. But I do, just before we draw to a close, there's that cue, just so I'm conscious of the time. But so I think you're an extreme example. I don't know if that's the right word. You're an extreme example, and I think it's going to work out really nice. You're an extreme example of why talking really does work. Because with you, you've got your coach, your trainers, and doctors. I presume you've got everything on here as well. And because you're being forced, probably the dramatic word, but I guess you are being forced to be honest about what's going on in here and whether you've got a twang or whatever. I'm talking on my ass now, which means that you can progress with your career because
Yeah.
simply, yeah, you've got the fancy blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, but without you actually talking and communicating with whoever's around you.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And I think it's not even having the facilities. I mean, just simply coming to the gym and just doing that. I mean, yes, it's because of I do it because it's helped me with my career. But even if the career wasn't there, I think now you get into a routine where I think if obviously I was, didn't have to ride for a year, I'd still come into the gym every single day.
Yeah.
It's just that routine. And I think if I've built up the body and I've built up the mental body, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
that it just gets used to it. Again, obviously there's down days and you just have to speak to someone.
Yeah.
Whether you speak to them as openly as you want to, that's up to that person.
Yeah.
There's obviously things that you're going to hold back, and that's up to them and up to me. But even if you get one, I would say if you had three things on your mind and you at least spoke about one of them, I would say that helps. You know what I mean? Like statistically, yeah, it might help 33%, but it might not. It might help 60% because even if you speak about one thing, what's the chance? What's the probability chance that you might open up to go, oh, actually, I might speak about the next thing that's on my mind to this person.
Yeah, no,
And
absolutely.
then oh, okay, I've spoken to them about two out of my three problems, and they're actually listening to me, and they're not judging me, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I'll just talk about all my problems because I'm opening to trust this person,
Yeah.
and then eventually you get all this weight off your shoulders, and you feel great.
Yeah. Do you know what, mate? That last 10, 30 seconds you've been talking, that's a clip in itself. I'm going to rinse that for years on that. So thank you very much, mate, because you bloody
No,
nailed it, mate. Absolutely.
yeah,
Because to be honest, we always end the videos as like, if somebody's watching this trigger, whatever the buzzwords, what would you say to do? But you've already answered it, mate. That
yeah,
was genius.
yeah.
That was really good. So on that bombshell, that was a good video. So I really appreciate like that insight. But let me hit the record button 1 second.